Okay.
Hopefully. There it is. We are live now. Okay. So let me check and make sure. Hey guys, I thought I was gonna be back late. Lakisha was getting on my nerves, bothering me, trying to make me do this. No, I'm lying. That's not what happened. We scheduled this. We scheduled this, right? This is a part of the transitioning journey. I wanted you to experience real life transitions with homeschool mamas that are trying this out, whether it be because of COVID or because they have decided to pull the trigger because of COVID, like whatever the case may be. So what I did was I went into a couple of groups and said, who wants to come on live on my page and talk about transitioning? The first 6 to reply get to come on my page. And so these ladies were the first 6 that decided to respond. And so that's what we have here. Okay. So today, y'all, the last interview for the day, I have Keisha, and listen, I'm excited because we have been conversing for a little bit here since probably, I want to say maybe about March or April. But we never have connected with each other. We are in North Texas together, and we never have connected with each other. But this is my first time actually seeing her beautiful face, so I appreciate you being here.
I'm excited to be here.
So what I do know about Keisha is she's in North Texas. So she's in Texas. She has 3 babies. So she's got a 5th grader, a 10th grader, and a kindergartner. And she is transitioning. She has already done her first steps of transitioning. We've talked before. So she's already done her first steps. And so we're just going to go there. So you got the floor. What question you got for me?
Okay, my first question is going to be on the socialization and keeping them in an active lifestyle type question. I'm aware of organizations like the YMCA, your local rec, but for those of us who are limited with resources, I'm keeping it real, is there any other guidance or any other directions or something that you can give us for us with social children besides just the internet life, which they've been living for months now?
Right. So again, because of COVID, it makes socialization very difficult for us as homeschoolers. We are dying just along with everybody else because we are used to being out and about, moving around while everybody else is at work. And so this is difficult for us. And so what I would say is there are tons of organizations out there. There's all kind of homeschool sports. I've said that I think before. There's homeschool. Basically in Texas, we're not allowed to participate in any public school activities. They don't allow it. And so what people did was create their own, right? See a need, fill a need. And so there are homeschool sports, there are homeschool cheer, there's homeschool acting groups, there's homeschool band. There's all different things that you can have. Now, if resources are an issue, if it's an issue of money, what I always do is tell people to ask, to say something, right? Hey, my kid really wants to be a part of your organization, but I cannot afford it, and I want to do it, but I cannot afford it. And you just let them tell you no. If they say, well, sorry, we can't do anything about it. Okay, peace be unto you. Okay, great. But most times they will say to you, okay, well, what can you afford? Or they'll say, how about, we do this, we'll see if we can find a scholarship or something to that effect. Some organizations allow you to volunteer, and that's how you pay for whatever it is your child is doing, you volunteering. One of the things that I did was back in the day when my kids, all 3 kids were playing soccer, I think it was like $80 per kid. And we couldn't afford, I'm not gonna say we couldn't afford it. We could have probably afforded it. I didn't want to spend $80 for a kid to play soccer, right?
Right.
And so what I did was I volunteered. So they all played for free just so that I could while I volunteered. So check those things, check those options out. And then another thing too is be mindful of it too, creating what you need. So say your oldest daughter has some, I'll use my daughter instead of yours. I'll use my daughter maybe she loves anime, right? And she is looking for people who love the same thing that she loves. Well, then, you know what? I can go create a group and say, hey, my daughter is 16. We're going to create a group for teenage girls or teenagers who enjoy anime. They can come and do whatever they want to do. They want to draw. I don't know what they do and that kind of stuff, but you can do whatever you want to do. But this is a safe place for them to get to know each other and connect with each other because they're like-minded. So be mindful of that, of creating what you need. Okay. So, and it could be, you know, again, meeting at the park. There was a lady that was doing something in Arlington Highlands. Okay. I know everybody may not be familiar with that, but you are. And what she did was, hey, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. after we go to Bible study or whatever the case may be, we're going to meet at the Arlington Highlands at the Starbucks and just kind of let the kids go. The parents sat there. I sat there. They sat there. And then the kids just kind of walked around Arlington Highlands and connected with each other. They sat at the fountain. They, you know, talked to each other. They played around. Some of them got in the fountain, child. Don't even get me started on that. That was crazy to me. But but they had a good time. And so the thing is, see a need, fill a need. So you may have to go into those groups that we're in and say, hey, I'm in North Texas. My daughter likes this. I plan on doing this. Would anybody like to join me? Now, here's the thing. Homeschoolers are flaky. Because we fly by the seat of our pants, right? So we have all intentions to go or participate, but then sometimes we just don't. And so there may be times where you're there by yourself. Don't get discouraged because the people are coming. It just may take a minute for the people to come.
Right.
Okay. What other question you got for me?
Curriculum. We've talked about this a little bit, but I kind of need a refresher on more so in your beginning stages of homeschooling, because I know it's a lot of it is about just creating your own atmosphere that works better for your kids. What were your suggestions of things not to do?
Do not purchase
curriculum.
So I would not, hold on, that looks like spiders. I would not I would not purchase a curriculum without knowing my child's learning style. I would always look for samples of the curriculum, either on the website, or I would contact the people who wrote it and say, do you have any samples available so that you can try it out? Let's see. If you do purchase a curriculum, think it's going to be great, you sampled it and everything, and you think it's going to be great, then you get it home and it sucks. It doesn't fit you. What I would say is do not keep using it just because you purchased it. Cancel it, be done with it. Don't make yourself miserable, and then start looking for a way either to resell it or gift it to somebody that may need it. So those would be the probably top things that I would do. I would definitely not spend any more time than you need to on it. So if you get it and you know right off the bat, child, this is getting on my nerves. The kids hate it and I'm fighting them like I'm turning into Sean. Johnny had 2 apples. I mean, if you start doing that stuff, then it's time to just let it go. Just let it go and try to find somebody else to purchase it. Okay. We got more. We got a good time.
All right. Okay. I know you once told me once you pull out of the public school system in the homeschooling life, there's no help. Like you basically have to, like you said, fill in the gaps and kind of put yourself. This Texas Homeschooling Coalition. What's that about? Are they there to help us, or is it just a general platform to help us get started when we don't have people like you?
I don't know that. What I will say about them is that they use scare tactics to get people to sign up for it. Like you don't want the legal issues, you don't want the legal problems. But what I would say is if you are concerned, like if you have legitimate concern about it, then go ahead and sign for them so that they can help you. I know they do offer resources and I know they do have information. For me, it was not important for me. If I was going to sign up for anyone, it was going to be HSLDA. And it was because I would have that legal defense, that side of it. But for the other reasons, I can pretty much do all of that other stuff myself. So there was no need for me, in my personal opinion, to do that. So it's a personal decision. I don't want to tell you no, Keisha, don't do that. Because you may be sitting there going, okay, Sean is great, but I may need this. I may need this too. I don't know fully what they do, so I'm not going to mouth them. But what I do know is that they do fight for our rights as homeschoolers. They're big on that. But they also, in the same token, they do use a lot of scare tactics. They do say like, ooh, you don't want to get caught up in this. And it's like, okay, like so-and-so's sons got taken away because of this. Well, it was extenuating circumstance. And why are you putting me in the middle of that? Like,
right.
So,
okay.
It's definitely something to think about though.
Okay. In the HSLDA, you said that is something that if you had to, like, who are they and what would make you think about using them?
Okay, so the Homeschool Legal Defense Association is what it is. And basically, if I could say it in any way, it would be, so say for instance, I did not sign up for the HSLDA and somebody knocked on my door with some type of legal issue, in reference to homeschooling. I couldn't sign up for them and they helped me with that issue, okay? I would have to be signed up with them beforehand. So the reason why I say that I would sign up for them is because I'm out in front saying, hey, you can homeschool, you can do it too. And there may come a time where somebody wants to attack me, right? Because of me being upfront telling people that they can do it. And I'm not saying attack like physically, but just, you know. And so that's something to think about. For me, it's a protection thing. Do I want them coming in my business? Do I want them? No. So that would be something I personally would sign up for because of that reason. But I tell people the way that I judge it is, if I was just homeschooling my kids and I wasn't out in front, I probably wouldn't join because Texas is a very easy state to homeschool in. But if I was up in the East Coast in New York or something to that effect, that would have been the very first thing that I joined because their laws are strict. Very strict. And so what I do want to do is protect my family and protect my spirit, my sanity, all that good stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Okay. I still got time.
Yeah, you got one more. I give you one more, then I'm rolling.
Okay. Okay. My last question, and this is just to make sure homeschoolers. Well, I think we have the right in general not to immunize our children. But homeschool, you do not have a immunization. Okay.
Not in Texas, no. Now, what will happen? What may happen? I'm not a physician. I'm not an attorney or anything like that. But what I have experienced is we do not fully believe at this point that immunizations cause an issue. So where we are as a family is we're researching it, right? We're seeing this information. We're noticing what's happening. And so my husband and I are like, before we make 100% decision that this is the cause of this, we're going to research it. But what we did in the meantime was we stopped immunizations. We didn't do them. We just stopped them.
Okay.
The doctor's office that we were going to refuse to see them because we did not have them done. Yeah. So we had to find a new doctor's office or we had to get them shots.
Right.
Okay. And so that's just a decision, again, you have to make. Again, I'm not saying that it's not true. I'm not saying it is true. All I'm saying is we're investigating it for ourselves and we will make our decision based off of that. But the doctor's office that we were going to told us flat out, either they get the shots or they cannot come, period, whether they're sick or not. So.
Okay. Well,
it doesn't scare me because there's tons of doctors out there that will. So. Okay.
Right. Right. Well, Sean, you have been absolutely fabulous. You have been a light in this whole process. In the beginning process, it is very scary when you don't know and you've been brainwashed or you have been molded to learn one way and, you're just trying to step out on a limb and do something different. So we thank you for all the information on behalf of our family and every other family that follow you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm out of questions because you've answered so much for me since March.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. It is good to hear. It is good to hear when people are getting the help. Again, that is my goal, to make sure that you guys know that you can do it. Because this chick who was working her job, had no plan on doing it, but she's doing it.
Right.
So if I can do it, right, then y'all
Right.
can do it. And I believe that wholeheartedly. If you want to do it, you can do it, sacrifice and all. And we have sacrificed in our family to make it happen.
Right.
But
Right.
it's important to us. So
Right.
I wish you well. You know how to get a hold of me when you do, when you
Thank
need what you
you.
need. So thank
Yes,
you
I
so
do. Yes,
much.
I do.
And y'all, I'm gonna take my
Mhm.
behind to bed. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me today during this launch. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate all the shares. I appreciate the likes, the hearts, the thumbs up. I appreciate the purchases. You guys have been a blessing to me. Little do you know, but today this book was my first book by myself, alone, no co-authors. It was completely me, and I was stressed beyond measure. But y'all just made it easy for me, and so I appreciate you. But it doesn't stop here. I need y'all to keep sharing because people are going through this journey and they do need the help. So I'm gonna take my tired behind the bed. I don't even think I'm gonna wrap my hair. I think I'm gonna go to bed just like this. I take my tired behind the bed, and I do plan on doing a recap tomorrow and seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Keisha, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
joining me today. Thank you for
Mhm.
always being available. Like, you jump on every chance you get, and I
I
appreciate
do.
it. I
Thank
see
you.
you. I try to speak every single time.
Right.
So I appreciate you. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful night. Good night,
You.
guys. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night.